Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Sci Talk with Shikha. Today's topic is a year into online learning, and we have a good panel of students. Both graduate and postgraduate students are here, and we are going to listen to their story. So first, let's hear who they are. Who is going to go first? Anjali, go first.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Anjali Nair. I'm doing my master's in chemistry. I'm from Manipal Institute of Technology, Karnataka. Yeah, that's it.
Shreyas.
Hello everyone, I am Shreyas Dindorkar and recently I have completed my bachelor's in chemistry and now looking forward for my higher studies in computational chemistry.
Samiksha.
Hello everyone, I'm Samiksha Sawant and I am pursuing Masters in Physics and particularly in Material Science from Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai.
Shreya.
Hello everyone, I am Shreya Pedakolmi and recently I've completed my bachelor's in biotechnology and now I'm looking forward for my master's in biotechnology.
Okay, nice. Okay, so it's been exactly a year or maybe little more than a year where you have been learning online, like fully online you are learning. So if you want to explain your year in just one word, what would it be and why? We'll just change the sequence. Randomly, I'll pick one. Samisha.
For me, I'll take it in a positive way and I'll consider online learning as accessible.
As accessible. Okay, good. Shreyas.
I would say for me it was quite disturbing and not so good uh, because actually initially the online system was not properly established is what I feel. Because when it was about to start we all were pretty excited like how the things will work or what platform we will be using or what will be the pattern of the exams and many more things. But what happened was it was new to all of us initially, so even teachers were struggling, and because of all the technical issues and network issues it was kind of a mess. And for the first few days it was just reading and listening activity for all of us, so I
Okay.
think we all started losing the interest, and I guess that's the reason.
Okay. Shreya, what about you?
To describe online learning in one word, for me it is like a tunnel. It's like a tunnel.
Okay.
Initially, when you go from a tunnel, you get totally excited as to yeah, we are going inside the tunnel. Just like Shreya said, even we were totally excited for online learning. But then after you enter inside, it was all alone. Like usually during offline learning, we sit together with our friends and we if we have any doubts, we ask the teacher because everything is around us. But in online learning, there was nothing. It was just a plain old laptop sitting in front of us and we were just listening. And for me, I was easily distracted with any of the things going around my house, so I
Right.
couldn't properly concentrate.
Right. Anjali.
For me, actually, it was great. I'm not complaining about anything that happened because I was fortunate enough to have this online offline blend mode in the education because our classes started somewhere in October. And by then, all of our teachers were pro in like conducting lectures in online. Like they could finally fix every issues, every internet issues or tech issues. They are equipped to like fix it themselves.
They
So there
were
was
prepared
not much of
beforehand.
issues, but for me, yeah, they were prepared beforehand because they were trained for that in college for 1 month or something. So they were pro, and we had offline classes. So I don't think like I was
So
happy
you
with
had
online classes.
blended
Yeah,
things, so you got best of
yeah.
both worlds.
So yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it was
We
great
have
actually for me.
nice. Okay, so we have another student now waiting. Abbas, can you introduce yourself first to the audience?
Mm. Hi, so I'm Abbas and I'm currently pursuing my master's from IITS, which is a college in Mumbai.
And what is your special subject for masters?
It's
Specialty.
biostatistics and demography. Biostatistics and demography.
Okay, and we were just talking about how would you describe your 1 year of online learning in one word? If you have one word to say about it, what would it be?
Trial and error.
What?
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Okay, I think that summarizes in itself. You don't have to. You don't need any explanation much there, right? Okay, so we'll go more depth into the challenges shortly, but let's start with a good like what was the most fun or best part of the online learning? I mean, there has to be something good, right, in every bad situation. So what was the most fun or the great part about the online learning? Abbas, you can go first now.
So the best part about online learning is that you can join the classroom for anywhere. For example, I was on the trip to Rajasthan and I joined the lecture from there. I think
Okay.
I enjoyed that moment.
Okay. Shreya?
The best part of online learning for me was, of course, traveling. There was no issue of traveling. We could easily log in for our lectures anywhere, from anywhere around the world, like anywhere. And the second one, the second best part was that there was a lot of pictorial representations. Like every teacher gave their own PPTs, so we could imagine a lot of things by pictorial representation.
Okay. Samiksha?
For me, I'll consider best part as the best part actually is we can join from anywhere, and the second best part is there's no compulsion that you have to attend it. Like we do attend it, but then we have recorded lectures, so even that's better that we can watch it in our comfort zone later on.
Right. Correct. Shreyas?
I think it makes you independent because you only have yourself to use as a resource. Like what I think is when in last year I was in contact with my teachers and friends, but like there is a lot of difference in asking your doubts and questions on WhatsApp and getting them solved rather than sending the normal messages. So I think you have to work out on your own. So I think this is how it makes you independent.
Okay. So that challenge made you more self-sufficient in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And Anjali, what about you?
Actually, the thing is that I'm not a great student who focus in every lecture. So because of the recording lectures, in a weekend when I feel like studying, I listen all the recorded lectures, like 9 lectures in a go. I'll be sitting whole day studying that. So this is like a boon for me because in lectures I might attend, but sometimes teachers are repeating the same thing. I might zone out. So when I zone out and come back, the topic is somewhere else. So I feel like that's great because I don't miss anything that teacher said in the class. At the same time, I can access the lectures anytime.
Yeah, you can access it anytime also. Not from anywhere, but anytime also.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. Okay. Now you all are from different subjects, different backgrounds of subjects. So specific to your subject, what was the most challenging part and what was a good part maybe? Specific to your subject. So Shreya.
So, okay, I come from biotechnology. So, for us, the practicals is one of the most important aspect. Like, even if you go in industries or anywhere, they will ask you for your practical knowledge or practical skills. So, during this online lectures, there was no such practical skills or knowledge given to us. So because that is one of the bad aspect of online learning for our for my background. And best part was, yeah, there was a lot of pictorial representation. There was a lot of PPTs shown to us, lot of pictures shown to us. That was the best part.
But did you use some kind of like practical demos or some virtual practical things or such?
No, we were not given any virtual practical things or
And
any.
coming from bio background, you have this thing of what you say it.
Stimulations, I think.
No, bird watching and nature hiking. What do you call it? Not specifically biotech people, but at least I think botany zoo people go on a hike or something like that to collect the samples or something.
Field visit, I guess.
Field visit.
Field
Yeah,
visit.
correct. Field visit.
But there was no such thing.
Yeah, of course there was no such thing. So that you must be like missing all those things. No.
Yes, actually, in our final year, there was a field visit on cancer research,
Oh,
taking us to an institute where cancer research is done. But due to all these lockdown and all these things, we couldn't go anywhere. So that was
true,
also a drawback.
true. What about you, Shreyas?
I think nice part is we deal with different kind of structures most of the times, and at times it becomes difficult. Like when the structures are very huge or complicated, so you can't draw them on boards or in your notebook. But these computer simulations really helps a lot and saves a lot of time. So I think that is the one thing that I like the most.
And what was the challenging part for the chemistry?
Challenging part, as Shreya said, practicals again, because when we say chemistry, it's, the first thing that come in our mind is a lot of chemicals and labs. But this time the scenario was completely different. Like we had just a set of instructions and some reactions. So we had to assume like, okay, these things must be happening, and then write it down in our journals. So no practical experience,
So
as
you
she
still
said.
had to write your journals, but you even if
Yes,
you
of course.
you had to write your journals. Okay, so that should be the bad part. No, that should come
Exactly.
under the. Okay. No, but see, here we all are from science backgrounds, right? So practicals are going to affect. But apart from that, कुछ है क्या ऐसा कि regarding chemistry you missed?
I don't think so, because we deal with equations and all numericals in physical. So I think there is no problem in solving the numericals using online mode or something like
Yeah,
that.
correct. Okay, what about you, Anjali?
There was no challenge as such. Like again, I didn't miss my practicals.
Because you had
I could
the
attend them. Yeah, I was at college, so for 4 months. So I didn't miss my practicals. Lectures too. I don't think teachers were it was easy for them actually. They were like more focused. They were finding new things on YouTube and making us show all these videos together. So it was nice.
okay. Good. Okay, Abbas, we like there is a common assumption that maths people don't have to worry about practical labs, etc. You can do it on your PC or pen and paper. So was there anything difficult particular to your subject in the online
Yes,
learning?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we have two type of subjects. First, mathematical subject, like
Yes.
statistics, and other subject which was theoretical, like demography. So
Okay.
in theoretical subject, there was no issue because PPT, one can explain even more efficiently with the help of PPT.
Okay.
But in the mathematical subject like statistics, you have to interact with the teacher. For example, you have a doubt or something, you have to interact with the teacher. So that was a bit difficult. For example, in which type you have a doubt, and in such problems, it was a difficulty interacting with the teacher
Okay.
as far as mathematics is concerned.
Okay. And what about you, Samiksha?
For me, first challenge was definitely the practicals, like physics. You better know that,
Yes.
because but although we had simulations and virtual labs, but then some of them were like computational physics, if we consider. So we had C plus C and all those things. So for that, there are certain students who don't have access to PCs or laptops. So for them, it was definitely a big challenge. And then other than that, there are certain, like we have very old teachers, like they are very old, and so it becomes difficult for them also to get along with this Zoom and all. So even that was one of the difficult parts. The best part, if I consider, not only talking about physics, but the best part I would consider of this online is we don't, like, there are many students who hesitate to ask doubts. So this is the best thing, that we can just write it in the chat and then it's done. So that is the best part actually, not only of physics but for every part.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like many people are afraid to speak up, but if it is in writing mode, it becomes more convenient for them. Right, correct.
Yes.
Shreya, you also made a similar point that you miss being around your friends when you can discuss while in the lecture and so on. So I think all the interfaces have that chat room option, right? Even in the live lectures. Do you use it? And if you do use it, can you replace it? Can it replace the actual conversations?
Okay, if we use it, I say it cannot replace the actual conversation, because when we talk with someone face to face, they, talking conversation involves emotions as well as the way you speak. So if you have a doubt in something, uh, even if the teacher answers it back, in real life she can understand that whether you got it or not, but in
Yeah.
online she cannot understand whether you actually understood it or not.
Yeah.
So that can be a drawback of online conversation.
And but for talking with friends, like even in regular offline lectures, we used to talk as students with our bench partners and classmates. The discussion of what is going on right in that moment, that can be done on the chat room. But like, is it difficult, or have you used it, or you have not used it?
Actually, we've not used it.
Okay.
If we had any doubt, we used to put it up in the chat box, but we did
Okay.
not use it
Otherwise,
for talking amongst us.
okay, 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 okay. Uh,
I would just like to add here,
huh.
like even we had this chats and all in the beginning. Like when this all lockdown and all of this started, we used to do chats, but then now it becomes so hectic that we find it like leave it, we'll search it somewhere else, because doing the same thing again and again, it becomes like repetitive now.
Okay, it's more cumbersome to write each and every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, so this was about studies. Now, what about fests and competitions and extracurriculars? What is going on in that part? Because that is also an important part of college life, I believe, right? So, what is
Totally shut down.
totally shut down? You only shut
Totally,
down.
like nothing is happening.
The thing is, even not
Nothing
even
is
some online
happening
events
anywhere.
or
I
something.
guess I really miss. No, like online events are happening, but like it doesn't give that feel. Like
Okay.
being with people, enjoying it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Even dimensions happened online, but that didn't reach many people actually.
Okay. 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 What about you, Shreyas? You were also very involved in extracurriculars, especially even competitions are part of it also, not only cultural events. So, what is going on in that scene?
Honestly speaking, I hardly remember that I had been a part of any such activity last year. So actually, I don't know much about the exact impact of pandemic on these aspects. But I guess, as she said, many of the events were shifted online. But again, as far as these activities are concerned, on online mode, we miss out on those in between movements, I think. So again, the difference between both modes gets highlighted.
Shreya, you want to like to add something to it?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, due to, of course, this lockdown, everything was shut down. As she said, it was totally right. Everything was shut down. Only online mode of things, or online mode of festive activities were taking place. But because of that, there was no social interaction. Like usually, if there is a fest or anything happening in the college, we interact with new people, we come across new people, we talk to them, but everything was missing. we couldn't talk with new people. The only thing was that we were sitting in front of our laptops and then we were watching it or just chatting. That's it. It was a bit boring. It was
Yeah.
boring
Yeah,
to
I
see
can
those
get
things.
can get it. What about you, Samiksha? I think you have been quite active in this part after entering the masters. That's what I felt.
Like,
Yeah, she has
I'm the
been
PG
writing poems and all.
representative. But that is something personal. But for even from college point of view, like am the PG representative of this college. So we somewhat managed to do it online. Like we tried our best to make it online, like videos on clapping, even stand up we had online. So, but then I feel this requires more of hard work because we literally have to do late night meetings, and then also we have to run after people to get their submissions and their reports. It was very difficult.
Okay, and Abbas, do you want to add something to this?
Yes, in my college, the fresher party was held online. So in
Okay,
that party, the from various parts of India, such as one from Lucknow, the Shairi,
okay,
another did proper Kathak dance from Kerala, and another did that Bengali poem. The fresher party was very interactive in my college. And as far as seminars are concerned, so the seminar during the pandemic, the professors as well as the faculty from various abroad universities were also available for lectures as
okay.
the mode was online. So that was an advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of an advantage, right? Right. So everything is going on the laptop screen, like lectures, demos, seminars, competitions, fest, events, everything. So what do you do for your eyes and your ears? Can you like give any tips to your fellow learners and fellow students? Do you do anything? Do you feel the need or no? It's okay. Like you can spend 8 to 10 hours on the screen and it's fine as far as you get a good sleep. What is the scene there? Any self-care routine for online learning? If anyone would like to share, if
Oh,
anybody is doing that, because I am very
yeah,
sensitive with
I'm
eyes
doing
and
it.
ears and all. Yeah, Anjali.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like 5 hours of lecture per day, each day. Like, so it's very difficult. So being in sun for like 2 hours in morning, taking a stroll in night would help me.
Okay, nice, nice. It's a good tip. It's a good tip. एनीथिंग एल्स किसी के चश्मे का नंबर बढ़ गया क्या ऑनलाइन लर्निंग के बाद
हाँ मेरा
ओके 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 others are comfortable using the laptop for long hours and all because communication will also happen over screen, studies also happening over screen, entertainment is also happening over screen. Shreyas, what were you saying?
We are used to it actually, but at the same time, we want all these to end now.
Yeah. That to that okay. So I'll bring up this question now only. Now it seems that one more year can be online learning. At least till the December. I don't know. Maybe after that, would it be
Yeah.
possible to open up it or not? So, where do you see the future of this online learning? Because see, now people are like they have developed habits and they are used to this now on screen learning and everything. Even after opening the colleges and institutes offline, what do you think? Like, are there some parts of online learning that should continue, or no? You want to totally go back to the way things were, or you want to bring something from the online into the next offline year or whatever? क्वेश्चन समझा ना क्या पूछा मैं
हाँ.
So, anybody can go first. Like I don't have to scream out name every.
If I may,
हाँ
as far as the lecture are concerned, it should be offline mode only. But as far as webinars, seminars are concerned, in which a large number of people can join, it can be conducted online, so that a huge number of people across the world can join. That's what I
Okay.
personally feel.
Nice.
I would like to add something.
Hmm.
I think even after everything reopens, I don't think that online platforms will face any major challenges because we already have started using technology in the education sector way before this pandemic. So we already have the distance learning methods in our education system. So I think we should continue with this uh, because it really saves a lot of time. Like just by sitting at your home, you can learn from professors at IITs and MITs. So I think this is a good thing. But as Abbas said, lectures and practical should be offline, and seminars and webinars should continue. And definitely, during this pandemic, some flaws were highlighted. So if these everything is analyzed and implemented in a systematic way, we will have online platform as a powerful tool in the near future.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Shreyas, on this. That there are some things that should continue even after things go back offline. Right?
Yes.
Anybody else? But then you won't have the option to record the lectures if it goes totally offline. You have to pay attention then and there only.
Yeah. Yes.
Even
So I would
lectures can
love
be
this online offline blend mode. Yeah, I will feel really bad. Even I felt bad when college reopened and we had online offline lectures for 2 weeks. Then it went to total shutdown again. But I was very sad about that.
Okay. So you would rather prefer practicals offline and lectures online. Is that your
Yes.
choice?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Blend mode is better, I feel.
Blend mode is better.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let me see if I'm skipping anything. Okay. So if teachers are to be if teachers are present in front of you and you want to complain about certain issues that you have been facing in this online learning, what issues that would be? That like assume that the teachers are here to solve them, they are not going to like be angry or something. So what is the main issue that you would like to convey to them that is bothering you, especially teaching related? Because the things that teachers can do something about it. I'm not talking about management and everything, like about the technicalities of the interface or anything. But if teachers were here, what is your most important concern that you would like to tell them, that please help us with us, please find out some solution of this, that like this is
So I'll go first.
please.
The thing is that every subject, teachers are using PowerPoint presentation. So I think they need to know how to smartly use it, because many are just making some like 200 slides and just showing it off. So they need to know how to smartly use it to make it more interactive with the students, because everything is on the slide. So what are they expecting us to think?
Yeah.
So that has to be worked on, I think. Because how to smartly use PowerPoint presentations.
Okay, correct.
Because
I
they're
agree.
just-
Sometimes, I mean, there is no point in making presentations so lengthy, like hundreds of slides. There is no meaning to it. Correct. Anything else?
If I may
I
add,
think
yes, go ahead.
okay, I think the thing which we need the most is the student-friendly schedule, I think, because we need some time to relax mentally and physically both.
Do you don't get lunch breaks or what? Like there are no breaks in between?
No, there are breaks, but because of lot of technical issues, teachers will extend the lectures and then the next teacher will extend, so the break goes off.
So things should be more in timely manner and in a disciplined way.
Yeah.
That's what you are saying. Okay, okay. Bus now
Can
you
I?
can. He was going first, then you can go. Yeah, a bus.
So I was saying that what Samiksha mentioned that senior faculty were unable to use the online platform effectively. So I think they should be trained in that properly,
Yeah, so they should be more trained.
in using the online platform
Yeah,
such as Zoom
okay,
properly. So
okay, okay.
in my case, so
Hmm.
most of the senior faculty didn't even knew how to take the attendance online. So they used to
Okay.
call the IT guy and he used to open the port for them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's an issue. And instead of being sarcastic or something about it, we should help them, in fact, and they should also be willing to learn things because this is what it is now, right? Like, uh, as far as they are working, I mean, they should be able to adapt to things. If seniors or post holders in the corporate worlds are expecting new people to adapt or any employee to adapt, then of course it it should not be the reason that you don't adapt to the new things. Correct. Okay, Shreya, you can go now.
I just wanted to add what Shreyas said, like student-friendly schedule. Actually, teachers used to think, I don't know, I felt maybe teachers used to think because of this online platform, we are free 24/7. But to be honest, we had some other works also to do, maybe our household chores or anything, some other online platform, some other things. So teachers thought that we were 24/7 free, and they expected us to be there always. So maybe a student friendly schedule was necessary.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I would like to tell you something. Even in the job scenario, this is the issue. Like the bosses think the employees are available 24/7 because it's work from home. So like there is no limit. So I think it's a universal issue, not only limited to the education field. And every higher position people should listen to it, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Samiksha.
I would like to add here that because of this, like there's no platform, only the teachers just come, teach and go. But then there are lack of activities, like no games, no fun activities. Related to studies only, but there are nothing as such. So
Okay.
that is one major drawback. And also there are lack of communication issues. Like like there are certain things like if we have asked for access for library, so it's kind of getting delayed and delayed. So even, I won't blame them because that's not their fault. Like they have several students to attend this, but then even this is a drawback.
Right, right. True. Okay, so I hope some teachers will be listening to this and may adapt to this. Let's hope for the best. Now, this was not only the online learning part, it was because of the pandemic. So the pandemic had the biggest stress level on all of us. On top of it, there was this online working learning thing that we were facing and we are still facing. So, does that stress of pandemic affected your studies psychologically, especially?
I won't think it affected me, but then because this actually gave us a chance to explore us more. So I got involved in writing poems and doing other activities. So
Okay,
I don't think it affected me.
okay. Anyone else would like to say? Shreya.
True, actually, even it did not affect me a lot because even I started exploring myself as to what I'm interested. I started developing my hobbies. Of course, yeah, staying in a closed room and being here 24/7 or being here only was a bit stressful. But then I started exploring myself. I started home gardening and I started
Oh,
drawing. Yes, yes. So that was a stress buster for me, like
okay.
exploring my hobbies.
Okay, great, great. Shreyas,
It didn't affect
performed any
personally.
experiments at home? Did you perform any
Not
experiments at home?
nothing much actually, just some small home experiments.
Like, just
As
give one or two examples.
actually, we can't do anything much at home, but I had some chemicals with me, so I tried out their crystallization and all that thing. And actually, many of my friends know because I post a lot on Instagram and all.
Okay. Abbas, you go. You were saying
So I was saying it didn't affect me personally, but some
uh,
of my colleagues who were from the rural part of the India, they were infected by the COVID during the pandemic. So
uh,
during the lecture, quarantine, while quarantine in the home, they have to attend the lecture. So I think it would be a bit stressful for them.
what do you think can be done in such cases, like when students themselves or their family members are suffering from COVID and they can't attend the lectures or maybe even exams? Are there like still KT exams or repeat exams for medical reasons? Are they going on? Are they taking second chance, giving second chances of exams
Yeah.
in online?
Yes. In my college, they are giving, like, they are empathetic towards students who are facing such issues. So they are giving them chances, like, to appear later, or like schedule a different exams or something like that. Even they are giving chances not to attend the lectures and all. So yeah, teachers understand because they can't do anything about this,
Yeah,
and even students are not, like, they're not supposed to do anything.
yeah, yeah.
Like, even I got COVID during my internals,
Ah,
so like they gave me an option not to write the exams, but I was like, okay, what's, like, I was okay. It was just mild symptoms and something, so I was okay to write my exams. But they told me, like, you can take some rest and then give the exams later. But
okay.
it was fine.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Uh, if you were teachers in this time, what would you do to make sure that your students are, what would be your topmost priority in online learning if you were a teacher?
I would organize, like if I got, I would have this chance, then I would have organized fun activities and other academic related games
Okay, so more
at that
engagement in
time.
the on the
Yeah.
academic front. Okay. Anything else?
I would say, as I said initially, I will focus first of all on setting up student-friendly schedule, and after that, the next important thing, according to me, is when you keep on giving them updates, like when a particular lesson will be held or when their exams will be held, they can create realistic expectations, and they can be prepared accordingly. So this is the most important thing, I think.
Yes, actually, even I would think in the similar lines as they both said, like seeing to it that there is no communication barrier or anything, and also arranging some informal lectures wherein the students can talk with each other, or even they can talk with the teacher, or whatever problems they are facing, they can speak up in those informal lectures. Like,
Okay, so some kind of platform to express your challenges and share your difficulties with them. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Apart from the question I asked, if anybody wants to say anything, they can go. If we have missed anything that you think might be important or useful for others.
I think not only teachers but also the college management should think about the students. That is in my college. Whenever the student is suffering from COVID or something, the professor used to give the extension in the assignment date, but the exam was still there. That is, the
Oh,
exam didn't postpone or they didn't get the chance to sit for the exam later.
so there was no second chance for them to give exams.
So in that case, teacher were helpful, but the college management was not that helpful.
Okay, so the policies basically were not made considering the empathy towards students, right? Okay. Anything else? Anybody would like to say any thoughts that I haven't covered through my questions?
Actually,
even
I think that students' participation in the Amisha.
you go first.
Anjali, you can go. Samiksha will go later.
Oh, okay. The thing is that actually taking students' decision in the education, like the layout of how they are planning to do the lectures, how they are planning to take the internals, everything, students' opinion has to be taken. Like some students' representative have to be in the decision making, I feel. Like in our college, we have a student class representative who gets in contact with the coordinator, and everything was asked to them before arranging any seminars or lectures or internals. Every time their opinions are taken, so it's easy for us to prepare for them. And okay, our opinions are taken into consideration, and we feel nice about it. Like many times they manipulate it, but we feel nice because sometimes they ask us about how to take these things forward. So students' opinions matter a lot actually
Okay.
in education, because they are.
Yeah, I mean, they are students are the people for whom the industry is running, no?
This is happening. Yeah.
Samiksha, what do you say?
Actually, I was saying the same thing. Like, this opinion should be taken into consideration. Like, even in our college, if we we have the entire day, still we have clashes among the lectures. So the teacher, there are several teachers who wants this time. So according to their time, also there are several clashes. So we have to talk to them individually. So even that gets a little hectic. So yeah.
But don't you think just like the pandemic hit you people, it hit the teachers and management also, and they also needed some time to get adapted to it. So, like, of course, they should be better prepared than you because they are more experienced. But sometimes they must have also required no for getting used to things and all. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि immediately they'll be able to uh, have a plan B and everything. I agree. Yours like students' opinions must be considered. Otherwise, there is no point in doing anything at all. But maybe some kind of communication or through some kind of maybe they'll get to know you, maybe they'll listen to you like Anjali said. Even in many Mumbai colleges also there is this क्या बोलते हैं उसको GS general secretary is there,
Student
student council and
student
all.
counselors. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in principle and on paper, on structure, it is there that some student representation should be there, but it is not reflected in practicality. I think that's what I think. That's what I think.
Others, but not in my case actually. Like we have two class representatives, so that is fine. Like the management from our side is at least fine.
Okay, 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 okay. Nice. I think it went well. You expressed your thoughts and everything, and maybe hopefully other students will agree to this, and teachers will, if teachers will see to this, then hopefully they'll also adapt. Now one last question, and it is not related to online learning. It's for my personal shout out. Since you have all been my students at one point or the other, on the scale of 1 to 10, uh, how much would you recommend somebody to hire me as their tutor? And you have to justify
I
your
would
rating, huh? You have to justify your rating.
I would recommend 10 out of 10 because like whatever I said is completely based on the things that you taught us, like the fun activity and everything, like be it Python, like the way you taught us Python. So there are several things that all of this session was completely on what you taught me.
Okay, that's so
So
sweet.
Actually, I would suggest everyone to be like you.
Oh, thank you so much, Samiksha.
Yeah, like even I would recommend like everyone because you like I think you put a lot of effort into this. It's been just like how many years you have been into teaching? Like 4 5 years?
3 to 4.
Three. Okay, three.
No,
Uh,
I mean
okay, all these
UG,
years you have put like
UG,
we
eh,
can see.
UG 3 years. Before
Okay.
that, I had taught school students for 2 3 years maybe. So 4 5 years, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, great. So the thing is that, like from the first year of my college, from your like yours also first year in our college, from there I can see like how you have put a lot of efforts into all your teaching methods, how you have been trying enough, like more than enough to push students. So I feel that's great.
Thank you so
Everyone
much.
should have the opportunity to be learn from you.
Thank you so much.
So even I would say a full 10 on 10 as your rating. Because to be honest, you were our teacher in second year for physics.
Yeah,
But
everyone listening, I have taught Shreya only for 1 year, and this rating coming from her is like,
no, seriously, because I am a student who does not like physics at all. Honestly, I totally hate physics because the complications in it, like the mathematical formulations and everything. But to be honest, math taught me how to be curious in physics. Like I learned being curious in that subject from math because she used to give us so many examples and all those things which actually happen in real world. Those was, I mean, that really helped me to love physics. They say that if a student likes a subject, it's because of the teacher. And it is true, it is because of Shikha ma'am that I really started liking physics, and I started to gain that being curious for everything, like that. So I would totally say that every student, I mean, should learn from you, because you really taught me curiosity, like really.
oh, thank you so much.
I totally agree with Shreya and others. And even I would like to rate a total 10 on 10 because no doubt, as Anjali said, no doubt about your regular teaching, but I have also seen you helping students uh, even after the college times for and helping them for the helping for them to prepare for the competitive exams. And so yeah, I think that's very important nowadays. So for me, it's 10 on 10.
Yeah. Samiksha was there for that competitive exam thing.
And actually, not only talking about this study things, but then also the mental stability that you give if someone doesn't crack any exam. So the way you did, like something no one does.
Okay, so you're talking about counseling kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives a great pep talk. I agree.
uh, okay.
I would agree with everyone. Ma'am lectures was very interactive, and she goes beyond the syllabus as well. That is helping in the competitive exam. So yeah, 10
Have
on
you
10 it
have
is.
you ever slept in my any of my lecture, Abbas? Say the truth, ah.
I haven't slept in any lecture, ma'am. I used to
Okay.
attend the lecture.
Okay.
I used to sleep a lot at home.
Okay, then it's fine. Then it's fine. Okay, I just wanted to include this question just to get a shout out to my channel and my tutoring thing. But this is more than what I had expected. So thank you for giving me perfect 10 on 10. And
Yeah,
I hope you liked today's session. I hope you enjoyed expressing your thoughts,
it's
and
great.
we'll together make sure that this video will reach to more people, and the people who are listening and watching to this, please share your feedback and subscribe to my channel Shikha Science. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye
ma'am.
bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Also, if you need any kind of tutoring regarding science and physics, I run my own practice. So feel free to contact me.